11 days into Occam's masking protocol, and I have gained 7.4 pounds of body weight. I'm weighing myself every single morning before I've done anything else. Sometimes, like after I've gone to the bathroom, so I have the extra weight out of me, so I get the least optimistic number. And I weighed in 177.4 pounds this morning, whereas where I started at 170 pounds. So that's very exciting. That's a very fast rate of gain. I've been eating a lot. I ate like 6,000 calories, over 6,000 calories yesterday, mostly in whole foods, which is more, I think, than I've ever eaten in my entire life in a single day. That's exciting, but it went down easy because my stomach, I feel, is now like used to eating all of that food. So that's awesome. I feel my muscles feel more full. The creatine definitely helps with that. That little like extra, the water weight, the little extra size, that definitely helps. I'm excited to start seeing like strength gain too. And it's mostly just been whole foods, no junk food at all. I don't like junk food. I don't eat it. I had like a couple of beers one night close to the beginning for a party. And then I had like a muffin yesterday, and that was it. But it definitely doesn't contribute to the weight gain at all. So this is all like whole foods gains, clean foods, which is really cool. One concern that I have is I can feel my body fat rising, my body fat percentage rising. And I think it's because I've been drinking a little over 2 liters of milk per day. And I've been mainly doing that through having a glass of milk that's about equal to 3 cups of milk every single meal, right? What I think I'm going to do, because I don't like body fat percentage rising, is I'm going to cut down on the milk, and I'm just going to drink 3 cups in the morning, and then I'm going to focus on like eating whole foods instead. You know, the rate of weight gain is good enough that I feel that I can cut out that milk without like sacrificing the weight gains. I've been training quite a lot less. I train about once every 3 rest days now, so I'll train like 1 exercise, 1 workout, be 3 days of rest, then 1 workout. And the workouts are very short. I've gone over this in my last video. It's like 1 set each exercise, and it's like 3 exercises. So it's like 3 sets total for the workout. The way that you actually build strength and don't just get a crappy workout is you go till absolute failure every single time, which I'm attempting to do, but I do need to get better at, because I'm not used to going to absolute failure, which is like, okay, my muscles physically can't push anymore, right? So that's probably the biggest challenge of the exercise. It's not the effort of the exercise, but becoming good at going to absolute failure, if you understand what I mean. It's nice that I rest. It's nice that I don't have as much exercise in my routine. It's like I'm a little less tired now, sure, but it is very weird for me. I feel like I'm under exercising, but the book that I learned this protocol from, the 4-Hour Body by Tim Ferriss, Tim says that's very normal, but you have to resist the urge to add more exercises, and it is a very strong urge, as he warned. I feel like I'm doing nothing in the gym, but I'm gonna follow the protocol to a T, and not, you know, if this protocol for some reason doesn't work, like if my strength doesn't go up at all, or if the weight gain like doesn't work, like let's say it's all fat or something like that, you know. If it gets messed up, I don't want it to be because of me. I'm just going to follow it to a T, no matter my opinion about it. One thing he mentioned before he began telling me about the routine was what he called the bike shed effect. So he says, basically, compare the idea that people know how to build a bike shed versus like a nuclear power plant, right? Most people correctly assume that they have no idea how to build a nuclear power plant, but they incorrectly assume that they have an idea about how to build a bike shed, right? They'll have opinions on everything about it, like size, heights, how, like the paint color, all of it, because they assume that they know, because a bike shed seems like a very simple thing, right? But he says building a bike shed is actually quite difficult. It takes, someone that is actually experienced in building. In the same way, people have a lot of opinions about something like mass gain, right? Something like exercise. Everyone has an opinion, but he says you can't listen to that, and you just have to stick with this. Everyone has a very strong opinion about this because they assume they know more than they do. And it's true. Since I started this thing and I've been explaining it to people have been very generous with offering their 2 cents about the protocol, right? It's been stuff from, that's interesting, I've heard something similar, to that's crazy, you shouldn't do it, to you're just going to get fat, to you're going to lose a bunch of strength. Everyone has an opinion about it, right? Every single person has an opinion about it, which I respect. But this is the first time in months that I've ever gained weight. Like, I've had a plateau at 170 to 175 forever. This is the first time that I have gone above 175 in like months. So whatever opinions people have, all I know is it's working. And I've had to suppress my own opinions as well, my own bike shed opinions as well, because obviously I've been working out for a long time. I have very strong opinions about exercise and what routines people should do. But it seems to be working. I had to put aside my doubt. I had to, what do they call it? A suspension of disbelief. That's what it's called. I've had to suspend my disbelief and just follow what the book says. Just follow the doctor's orders. And lo and behold, it's working. I just think that's so cool. I want to document what an average day of eating is for me, in case anyone in the future is interested, or I want to look back at this video and see. Basically, I wake up before I take a shower. First thing, I step on the scale and I weigh myself. All right, and then I log that. That's first thing in the morning. Second thing before I take a shower is I take 3 cups of milk. I take 3 tablespoons of almond butter. I take a scoop of protein powder and 5 ice cubes, and also my supplements that I'm supposed to take. So in this case, it's going to be creatine powder and L-glutamine powder, and I mix it up I put it in a blender cup, and then I blend myself a smoothie, and then I drink that, kind of while the water is running and heating up or whatever. I drink that full thing. That's I think it's 600 calories, something like that. Quite a lot of protein. So it's a nice protein shake, very first thing. Then I can get in the shower, and that kind of digests while I'm in the shower. I clean up, I have my morning routine, do stuff like that. Then for breakfast, it's going to be 4 eggs and a cup of black beans, cooked in a pan, right? I eat that, so that leaves it's 1,400 calories for breakfast. Good, right? Awesome. Before lunch, this is with the milk, by the way. I'm going to remove the milk. Before lunch, about 11 o'clock, I have 3 cups of milk in a glass. And then for lunch, it's normally some form of carb paired with some form of protein. Let's just say chicken with 2 large sweet potatoes, right? So it's 2 chicken breasts, or 2 cups worth of chicken, and 2 cooked sweet potatoes, 2 cooked large sweet potatoes. Great, that's good for lunch. And then at some point, I ordinarily work out if it's a workout day, right? If it's not a workout day, sometime in the afternoon, I'll normally make a bowl of oats and fruit. I'll make a little bowl of oatmeal, right? So that's normally a cup of oats and then just some fruit thrown in, right? And normally some cinnamon and a pinch of salt, because if you didn't know, a pinch of salt will make oatmeal taste way better for some reason. And that's some nice extra carbs, right? And then for dinner, I'll take the rest of that can of black beans, because the can of black beans is ordinarily 1 3/4 cup. So I used a cup at breakfast in with my eggs, and I'm going to use the rest of that can. So it's 3/4 of a cup in with actually 3 cups of brown rice. So I'll cook up 3 cups of brown rice, then I'll throw it in a saucepan, throw the beans in, cook that up, and I'll normally throw, of course, a source of protein in there. Sometimes it'll be chicken, sometimes it'll be steak, sometimes it'll be ground beef, sometimes it'll be more eggs, right? Like 4 more eggs. And then I'll eat that. And this sounds like a lot of food, but it's quite manageable if you break it up into those meals. I found it quite easy to cook and do and stuff like that. Eating is a full-time job. Like bulking is really a full-time job. If I had work right now, if I was working like a 9 to 5 right now, I definitely could not do what I'm doing. I probably could. Like I would always find a way to do it, right? But it's definitely far more difficult because then I'd have to meal prep and I'd have to like find a way to eat out but also get my macros in. Now I'm getting my macros in great. A mistake I was making near the beginning, I've mentioned this before, was I was getting tons of protein but not enough carbohydrates. So I've made sure to include more carbohydrates in my diet right now. I'm like hitting all my macros every single day, gaining weight at a good rate. I'm comfortable backing off the milk, which is going to, of course, like that's not going to be quite as much protein, carbs, and fats in the milk. That would be helpful, but it's like if it reduces the body fat gain, then that's awesome too. So that's my update, day 11 of Occam's protocol, and yeah, that's all.